What's up, y'all? Greg Phillips here, doing the Crush It 30-day video challenge. One video a day for 30 days. Try to help with some branding and get ourselves out there, get out of our comfort zone, and get our brand out there. Whatever the case may be, kind of help with building online businesses or brick and mortar, whatever the case may be, whatever you happen to be doing, it's just a challenge to get you out of your comfort zone. So, my first YouTube video that I will have ever done, and definitely my first day on the 30-day challenge, is I was having some computer issues, so camera didn't want to work. Guess I'll have to replace that, and it'll take pictures but not video. So I'm doing this from the mobile. Hope y'all will forgive me for that. Anyway, hope everybody's doing alright today. Figured I'd give y'all a little intro to me and who I am and what I'm about. So, born and raised here in Georgia. Grew up in Marietta. Grew up average middle class guy. Average middle class family. Nothing out of the ordinary, extravagant there by any means. So, there's that. But growing up, I realized I was very mechanically inclined. So, like to work with my hands, like to fix stuff that's broke. I think that kind of runs with most guys my age. You know, we want to, whatever's broke, we want to fix it. So, did that and kind of capitalized on that. Got into things such as auto mechanics, metal shop, whatever I could find to build, fix, repair, make better, improve, whatever the case may be. Kind of had that Tim Allen thing, you know, more power. So worked with that and grew up and capitalized on that. Once I turned 18, realized that, well, actually at 16, realized I definitely wanted to go into the military. My dad and my brother both served. A lot of my cousins served. A big part of my family did. My mom actually worked for civil service, so she was not DOD, but worked a lot with the DOD and government contractors, things to that effect. So, decided to run with that and build from there. Went in the military, went in the U.S. Navy Seabees. If you're not familiar with that, it's construction battalions where we build stuff. Whether it be runways or base camps or buildings or whatever the case may be. We generally tended to run with the Marine Corps more than the Navy. My chosen field in that was what they called a construction mechanic. So went into that. Basically, they taught us to work on diesels. They did a little bit of automotive, but predominantly we were working on construction equipment, whether it be trucks, whether it be dump trucks, bulldozers, backhoes, motor graders, whatever the case may be. That's what they trained us to do. I personally didn't care too much for the diesel side of things, so I kind of migrated towards the automotive stuff. I did serve 9.5 years, almost 10 years, in the reserves in a mechanic's capacity. I did 6.5 years with the Navy Seabees, and I did 3 years with the Air Force. So, at the end of that 9.5 years, which was June 2001, I went in November of 92. I opted to get out of the military for various life reasons and regretted it for a long time. Tried to go back in numerous times, could not get back in. So, now you kind of have the basics of my military stuff. The whole time, even over on the Air Force side, I was, mechanics, working on cars, that kind of thing the whole time. Did learn a little bit of construction stuff, just because that's what they had us doing. Learn how to hang and finish sheetrock a little bit of framing, some stuff like that. While I was there, just because that's what they needed us to do. They needed the manpower to make it happen. So they put us mechanics over there hanging sheetrock, which was kind of interesting. Anyway, got back from boot camp and all that, and chose to go into automotive school. Went in working on my degree for the Applied Science of Automotive Technology, is what they called it. So basically learned all aspects of automotive repair and how to be a technician, not necessarily just a mechanic. However, me being the person I am, I kind of focused more on the mechanic side. I wasn't much of a technician per se. However, I was very good at working on brakes, front end, steering, suspension, that kind of stuff, basic engine repair, a lot of that stuff. That's kind of where I focused, and electrical actually. Loved the electrical aspect of it, chasing down problems, fixing problems, stereo systems, whatever the case may be, loved it. Which is kind of, I think, how I ended up getting into the field that I've worked most in. So I spent about 10 years, a little bit on and off towards the end, in the automotive business. Worked as a mechanic for about 6, and then got into management, whether it be service management, assistant store management, things to that effect. Did enjoy that, but got burned out pretty quick with that. So during some different life events and things, ended up getting more into the construction side of things. So started learning framing, roofing, building decks, laying tile, laying hardwood floors, electrical, things to that effect. Real good friend of mine got me into the electrical union. So I went there and I kind of went total electrical. Enjoyed it and did about 1.5 years. Came out, went back in the automotive business again due to life changes, and then ended up going back to the electrical union. So I spent about 2.5 years there. Decided that I really wanted to be in business for myself, hence where my entrepreneur came out. So went, did some studying, did what I needed to do, and went and got my electrical license and started my own electrical company. Did that for about 7 years. After 3 years, I partnered up with a guy. Ended up basically running the field operations. He took care of the back end, the administrative kind of stuff. I ran the automotive, or the field side of it, and did great from altogether from 2001 till about 2008. Made a pretty decent living. 2008, when the economy kind of tanked and went to crap, the housing market went to crap, all construction pretty much went to crap. So, sat at the house for about 6 weeks, bid some jobs, things like that. We just couldn't get anything, ended up having to go back to work for somebody. So, did that, been doing that ever since. Had some good experiences, had some bad experiences. The construction trades kind of go up and down to some extent. Went back into automotive somewhat during a few of the slow times. Got into used car sales, actually sold Jeeps for a while. Worked for Harley Davidson, selling motorcycles for a while. And actually, when I left there, I went to work for Google. Basically, kind of got tired of the construction industry. Went and got my computer networking systems degree. And ended up, because I couldn't find a job in that field, that's how I ended up working for Harley. And after almost a year of working at Harley, got the job offer at Google. And so went to work for a 1-year contract with them. Did not get hired full time, obviously. And so, one of the best years work-wise of my life. It was absolutely amazing working there. Loved working at Google. But I learned a lot. Between getting my degree in computer networking systems and working there at Google, I learned a lot. Loved the computer, the techie side stuff. Not that great at it, but loved it, enjoyed it. So, between all that, I do build computers and tend to do things a little differently when I can. Love the Linux operating system, just me. Most people don't, but I happen to love it. Don't know enough about it, but I enjoy working with it. So, leads up to today. Currently, I'm a electrical foreman. I've worked for fire alarm companies. I've worked for low voltage data companies. I've worked as electrician. I've worked as electrical foreman, data foreman. a lot of different stuff like that. Tend to overall like the construction trades. Hence, kind of up to date. Gives you a basic overview. Have I made mistakes in life? Yes, haven't we all? Leads me to here. So, done a little bit of online businesses, MLM, marketing, kind of that kind of stuff. Failed miserably. Hence, about 9 months ago, something like that, ran across a gentleman, just based off his Facebook post, got talking to him, and he was doing online stuff. So happened we had a lot of similar interest and things to that effect, and so I got talking to him, learned a little more about it. Still very skittish, didn't want to dive in, wasn't spending no money on it. Forget it, wasn't happening. So through talking to him, through conversations, through meeting up with him, shaking hands, having more conversation, more phone calls and such, I decided to dove in. And that's how I've ended up where I'm at. I will go more into details on all that stuff later in another video. However, this is where I'm at now, and this is what's led me to do this video. So I hope y'all kind of enjoyed learning a little bit of my background, and we will do more. I'll be back tomorrow and doing another one of these videos in day 2, and we'll see where we go. So anyway, y'all have a great day, have a great night, and be sure to share this and subscribe to this page, this YouTube page, and you will see this posted on Facebook, Instagram, and various other places. Anyway, y'all have a good night.